What's up, y'all? One of the hardest lessons that I've been learning is that following Jesus, it doesn't make always easier life. Sometimes it makes life lonelier. Not because God leaves us, but because there are moments when following Him means walking a different path than the people around us. And I've noticed something. Most of us don't actually struggle with knowing what's right. Most of us struggle with the cost of doing what's right. And, we should know to tell the truth. But what if it costs us promotion? We know we should forgive, but what if the other person never apologizes? We know we should stay faithful, but what if everyone else tells us we're missing out? Those are the moments that reveal what we truly believe. Because conviction is easy when someone agrees with you. Real conviction begins when they don't. I don't think we talk enough about how deeply we all want to belong. God created us for relationships, for community, for family. There's nothing wrong with that. But somewhere along the way, the desire to belong, it can quietly become the desire to be approved. And those aren't the same thing. Approval is going to ask you, what do I need to do so that people will accept me? Faith asks, what does God want me to do, even if they don't? I've lived enough life now to realize that you can't please everyone, no matter how hard you are, no matter how kind you are. Someone's going to misunderstand you. So, no matter how carefully you speak, someone is going to take offense. No matter how sincerely you try to help, someone's going to question your motives. For a long time, that bothered me. I wanted everyone to understand my heart. I wanted everyone to like me. But that's a burden that no one was created to carry. Even Jesus wasn't understood by everyone. He was rejected, mis- misrepresented. He was mocked. He was abandoned. If perfect love wasn't accepted by everyone, why do I expect my life to be? That realization is a strangely freeing feeling because it reminds me that my responsibility isn't to manage everyone's expectation and everyone's opinion. My responsibility is to be faithful, faithful in what I say, faithful in how I love, faithful in how I live, and then leave the results to God. I've started asking myself a different question. Instead of asking, what are people going to think? I've been asking, what kind of man is God calling me to become? That question changes everything because sometimes obedience looks impressive. Otherwise, it looks like being misunderstood. Sometimes it means speaking, sometimes it means staying silent. Sometimes it means stepping forward, sometimes it means walking away. Wisdom is learning the difference. There have been moments when I've felt pressure to compromise my own views, my own self, my own faith, to stay quiet because it would be easier, to blend in because standing out felt uncomfortable. Maybe you felt that too, at work, with friends, online, even with your own family. The pressure isn't always dramatic, usually it's subtle. A small compromise here, a little silence there, until one day you realize you slowly become someone you never intended to be. Character is rarely lost all at once. It's surrendered one small decision at a time. The opposite is true too. Character is built one faithful decision at a time, one honest conversation, one quiet act of courage, one choice to obey when no one is applauding you. I think about Daniel. He didn't become courageous the day he walked into the lion's den. He had already spent years choosing faithfulness in the ordinary. The public test simply just revealed the private life that he had already built. Maybe courage works the same way for us. It isn't something we suddenly find, it's something we quietly practice. And every time we choose truth over convenience, integrity over popularity, faithfulness over comfort, we become a little stronger. Not stronger because we're better than anyone else, stronger because we're learning to trust God. more than the approval of people. I hope my life is never remembered because I won arguments. I hope it's remembered because I love people well while refusing to compromise what is true. Those things are enemies. Truth without love becomes harsh. Love without truth becomes empty. Jesus never separated them. Neither should we. The world, it doesn't need more angry voices. It needs more faithful ones. People who can stand with conviction without losing their compassion. People who can disagree without hating. People who can remain humble while remaining firm. People who care about being faithful even when they're not being applauded. Because at the end of the day, the crowd's always going to change its mind. Public opinion's always going to shift. Culture will always move, but God doesn't. So if there comes a day when following Him means standing alone, don't mistake loneliness for failure. Some roads feel lonely because they lead somewhere eternal. And sometimes the greatest act of courage isn't changing the world, it's simply refusing to let the world change what God is shaping you to become. And I just appreciate you just for being here, man. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks for thinking about yourself. Thanks for loving God, man. To the next one. Peace.